Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a bounce here. 11,700. Can it continue? God bless you all. Thank you for being here. Let's break it down. Let's get that music back up and pumping. I'm a music man. I love that music. Shout out to all my beautiful souls. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for being here with the Crypto Lifer. No days off every single day here on the channel. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. I dress up because I like to dress up. There's thousands of people that come to this live stream. If you went to a wedding with a few thousand people, I'm sure you would dress up. If you went to a wedding and you wore some jeans and a t-shirt, and there's thousands more people than at most weddings here, so I dress up. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. It makes logical sense to me. Shout out to all my beautiful people. Let's break down Bitcoin. Let's have some fun. And let's talk about BTC. And may God bless you. So last night we talked about this kind of a bear flag breaking down that we actually did. They got this fake Adam and Eve double bottom there. And then we did get the breakdown somewhere to, I said 110.5. We went to 110.9. Then we broke up. Kind of made a head and shoulder pattern. This morning, I didn't want to trade Mondays because I can't stand Mondays. I don't hate anything. I love it. But, I even love losing. It's fun. And I longed here. Came down. We came up. I moved the stop loss into break even. They hit me off. Stupid trade, right? And then shoulder, head, right shoulder. But we did cross the 200 moving average and we got a pump to the upside. So then my signal did play out with the candle above the 200 for a quick scalp. We're going to break down what the bigger picture looks like. We're not going to be hanging out in the 1 minute all day here. We're going to zoom out right now to the monthly candle close, which is coming in about a week. We're going to look at the monthly right now. We're going to break it down for you, and then we're going to kind of zoom in. I see some trouble in paradise for Bitcoin. It's not all good for the bulls right now, and I'm going to show you why. There's some key insights that are showing us why we may struggle. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP. Link to BOOKMAP in the description. I like to start my day off with BOOKMAP. One of the first things I'm going to look at in the morning. I have made trades without it, though, many times, so it doesn't have to happen. But look, it tells us we're going to 107,005. And BOOKMAP's been spot on. Anytime we got heavy red, we've gone there. And so BOOKMAP's telling you you're going down to 107,005. Will there be a quick stop hunt to the upside first? Possibly before the downside. We're going to find some local areas where you can likely hide out for a possible short. And the trend is now to the downside, my friends. It is what it is. I'm pretty good at finding the trend. And we figured out that we were bearish a few days. A couple of weeks, we started sounding the alarm. And again, I'm still open-minded that anything could happen. See, that's the thing. I don't know where Bitcoin's going to go. I don't claim to on this channel. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I don't know. In 3 weeks, Bitcoin could be 160. It could be down here at 79,000. I'm open-minded to both scenarios. So other people think it has to be one way. It's up only. But it may not be up only. It just may not happen that way. Okay? So let's kind of really zoom in here and see what's happening to Bitcoin. You can see we have this measured move of the rising wedge all the way to about $184,000, right? That would be the move. The week, this monthly would have to close green. We would have to get some type of miracle move here. And it isn't looking likely. You can see there's just so much long liquidity. Too many people went late long on that news. When Jerome Powell came out on that big green candle, they got a lot of people to get emotional. You have to remember, that candle sparked emotions. It probably sparked the wrong emotions. Those emotions darted over, you see what I'm saying, into longs. We sold that. Remember, I sold that top on Ethereum. You have to pay the trader in the green days. We have to load up on the red days. We don't have a choice. Everyone else is doing the opposite. For us to stay solvent in the game, we have to do the opposite. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. As you can see, NFA down there, okay? Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Get yourself a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. Let's redirect people to the right stream so they can see what's happening. Episode 1737. Okay. So right now, if the monthly closes tweezer tops, I would hold that's a bearish sign. Every single time a monthly candle closed against a green candle, and you had 1, 2, 3, 4 straight months of Bitcoin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So between 4 and 6 months, Bitcoin usually doesn't get more than a 6-month pump, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there with one in the middle that was a little red. So we're kind of in that threshold. I'm still bullish. Maybe we could get a miracle in the next week and get a bounce. You never know. I'm going to play it every single day, and if I see reversals, I'm going to be able to call them out. I know it because that's how my strategy works. And come with me and dive in. You'll find out what I'm talking about if you show up every day with the lifer. It will take your commitment to be consistent for you to understand what I'm doing. It's not going to be something you can figure it out in a couple days. You're going to have to be here. But if you want to put in the work, and as they say, time in the market beats timing the market. Let me say that again. Time in the market beats timing the market. But I also say this, time in the market teaches you how to time the market. Because I've been in the market a long time, I knew that this area was a key area to buy Bitcoin. And it was based off bullish divergence, low stochastic. All right, look at the low monthly. You buy Bitcoin when it's low on the monthly. That's what we're going to start doing in the next, as Bitcoin matures and gets 30, 40 years old, we're going to be able to use the monthly chart to accumulate. Just like we started using the weekly when it was, and the daily. So when it's only a few years old, you use the daily to accumulate. Because it doesn't have information to get to the weekly. The weekly doesn't print. The weekly doesn't have highs and lows. The weekly just... does anyone hear what I'm saying? This is key because this is how Bitcoin's evolved right now. Bitcoin never made bear flags at all the stuff on the weekly time frame. It had such a small amount of price action on that time frame. For instance, an altcoin comes out and it's out for 4 days. That's 4 green candles on the daily. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't, that's nothing. But if you go to the 1 minute, it's peaks and valleys and Fibonacci retracements, and there's so much in there. The same thing happens to Bitcoin when it's only a few years old. There's only 4, a couple candles, right? On the monthly chart. Or, on the 3 years, there's like 5 candles in a year, 12 candles, right? But then as you get to be 10, 12, 15 years old, the monthly starts to evolve. Understand? This is so key because it teaches you why patterns actually work. And once you understand that patterns run the game, nothing moves without a pattern. Like that was a beautiful bull flag that Bitcoin broke out of here to the upside. That was the bull flag of bull flags. Anyway, let's deal with what's in front of us right now. But I love to look at price action and learn from the past and the future because you can kind of see where we're going. So right now, Bitcoin has a chance to get back inside this pattern on the weekly and make this a wick and say you were scared and you were scared, but it has to do it. Like this weekly candle has to get back inside 114K. If we close this weekly candle red, I don't see how Bitcoin survives, in the short term. Tells me that we're going to come down and somewhere, at least test 109,000. I will tell you, people are going to front run 109. People like me, I'm always buying a little more BTC. I have to. I don't have a choice. If you have income coming in, you got to buy some Bitcoin, right? What are you going to do? You're making dough. You got to buy Bitcoin. I mean, you're going to leave it in cash. You got cash lying around. You got to buy some Bitcoin, in my humble opinion. So anyway, but that's my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. Hey, I'm just a guy that turns something out of nothing, but that means nothing to nobody, right? Hey, I just turned $500 into millions, but hey, don't listen to me. Hey, I don't know what I'm doing over here. Hey. So let's take a look. Quit my job, moved to Florida, but, probably nothing. So the weekly, 111,960. Can we front run this? Are we going to get a wick? And so we need basically the bulls, nothing is needed, but the bulls desire a wick back up in a green candle here. That changes everything. We stay back inside this. It tells us that the rising wedge is okay. You cannot close a candle out here. Next green candle, I feel, the next candle would have to be red. Now you're talking 102, 104, 109. It changes the game. So 112 is really the key zone here. We can dance to 110.8. We can have a little fun on the wicks, but we got to make this a move back to the upside here for Bitcoin, or we're in some trouble. And what would happen is we would have to basically turn this into an inverted head and shoulder. Say it. Say chowder. Shoulder. So can we get the, shoulder? Say it. Say chowder. So can we get the shoulder, the head, the right shoulder to the upside is the question. That is the saving grace here for Bitcoin. That is the must-have, must-do, gotta happen price action here for bitty Bitcoin. Otherwise, to me, look, it's outside the pattern. It's just, It's sketchy business. So there's a chance. I see a possible bullish scenario here, but it's getting few and far between. They are pumping this thing above the 200 moving average, though. Now I'm getting my signal there. The 21 on the 200. Almost looks like it's going to be a rising wedge that could break out parabolically. Second time they're flashing the signal here today for Bitcoin. Cross the 200. We did get the shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. Can you see the inverted head and shoulder? I'm teaching you how patterns work. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, clear as day, neckline. The measured move is the neckline to the head. You swing that. That's exactly where price just stopped at. It's insane how well this stuff plays out. Before that, there was a head and shoulder to the downside. A shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. You draw that neckline. You take this, and your measured move says you break to the downside, the same exact place. This is nuts. Crazy, right? Some people could trade these tiny patterns of the small time frames. I'm one of them. So take a look here. Some of these special autistic people. And I don't want to be rude because I'm not saying I'm autistic, but I definitely feel there's something different about the way my brain works than the rest of society. Like, I never seem to fit in. I always ask the question nobody else seemed to ask. When everyone else thought it was okay, I always said, but wait, what about that thing over there? Like, how come no one's paying attention to that over there? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like I always was kind of an outsider because I could see what a lot of people couldn't see. And then I'd be screaming and yelling about it and nobody would know what I was talking about. Like C19, when C19 came out, I put 2 and 2 together through a Telegram group. I figured out that it was coming to New York City. They were going to shut down the games and everything. And I told everyone they're going to shut down your basketball game. They're going to shut down Madison Square Garden. It's going to be an insane thing. I said, I just, and people thought I was absolutely out of my mind. People disowned me. Friends called me crazy. Family members started questioning my mental state because I could see something that millions of people couldn't see. So you one day might do that. You might have the instinct so strong that you know something is coming, but nobody else is going to know. They're going to call you nuts. You're going to have to be able to believe in yourself, your brothers, your friends, your sisters, your father, your mother. The closest people in your life are going to think you're nuts. They might even try to disown you at one point out of fear of just your knowledge is too crazy for them to handle. That happened to me, everyone. I was alienated from everybody in my life. Even people that love me, they love me, but they thought I was insane. So for years, I told them Bitcoin was going up. Bitcoin's going up. You know, it's going to go to the blah, blah, blah. Then it went to 20K, and they're like, maybe he's right. And they were like, damn, he made some money, man. This guy hit it. Then it went back to $3,000, and they called me stupid and insane. And I said, no, but this is the greatest time to buy Bitcoin right now. I said, this will change your life. And they called me a guy who who just wouldn't give up on his old ideas. They said, this guy is stuck in his ways. Family members, friends called me nuts. Literally suggested I go to mental institutions to get myself checked out. They said, Sam, the bull run is over. I remember one of my friends sat me down. Like, he had a few friends there when I got there. He said, it was like an intervention. They said, Sam, like, you got to stop putting all your money into Bitcoin. You're going broke. You have kids now. They're like, you have children, Sam. You got to really think you're in some other place. Because my brain was so far evolved in the digital space, and I could see where we were going. And so I was years ahead in the future, and everyone thought I was insane. That was a very hard struggle for me. Thank the Lord it all came to fruition. Thank the Lord I now have a channel. Thank the Lord it all came. But you can see how my insanity bred the crypto lifer. And if I had listened to everybody else, and if I had stuck with the crowd, I would never have gotten anywhere in life, man. I had to go alone. And so if you're struggling right now, if people don't listen to you, if you feel like you're alone, then you're just like me. And you're just where I was. And you know what? I was on my way to greatness. So God bless you. So have no fear. Believe in yourself. Believe in you as a crypto lifer. You've got this. They have no clue what's going on. You've got this. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for listening to my stories and my spiel. This helps me get over a lot of the emotions that rouse up as I tried to teach and help people about cryptocurrency. I taught them about the history of money. I would sit them down and say, listen, man, they printed your money to zero for years. You're a slave to a fiat currency. I said, you're inside of it's indentured slavery right now. You make just enough to go home to your little apartment in New York City. That's 800 square feet if you're lucky. 500 square feet, 400 square feet. People are living in kitchens with beds pulling out of the side of the wall. In China, they're living in shoeboxes. It's insanity. Every time you use your phone, think about all those people at that Foxtel place, right? They're crammed in this little hole somewhere. All the people in Angola mining all that, don't they have to mine something in your phone? I know what it is. It just slipped in my mind right now. But anyway, there's a cost for all of our beautiful conveniences, isn't there? And nobody wants to think about it. And nobody wants to break it down. Nobody wants to talk about the truth, man. Anyway, I'll get back to what I'm supposed to do and just be a technical analysis bot and never talk about who I am and what I do and never let you know anything about me. I am just a guy who plays with the lines. Look at me and look how I play with the lines. Look at how I make money with the moving average. I'm a bot. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here and being awesome. If you get my drift and you get my sense of humor, then you're laughing. If you don't, you're looking at me like, who is this dude? He's out of his mind. Maybe I intrigued you. Maybe I didn't. But I'm going to keep talking anyway. All right? So that's what's going to happen. All right. All right, so this is my bullish, while I spiel and tell you all about my life and up and down in philosophy, I'm also teaching. So today we've got above what's called the 200 moving average. Write that down if you're new to trading. 200 MA, 200 moving average. It's a very strong trading partner for you. When you get above it on any time frame, it conveys the fact that you may be changing trend. If you can get above it and get above a previous high, that means you're possibly making a higher low. The higher low usually comes in contact with the 21-day moving average or near it and stays above the 200. What we're looking for is a change in trend, a support and resistance flip. What is an SR flip? It's when you have a resistance clearly defined, preferably by 2 points or more. This is 2 points. As we came here and got rejected, we came here and got rejected yet again. We can see that 111,007, 111,008 is a key area that if we can get back above and retest, which means we come back to hit it. So what you want to do is traders are sitting here watching the resistance. A bunch of traders, are preemptive. They're going to say, you know what? I'm going to wait for us to break out. But if we bounce off this area, I would like to get in on the bullish retest of this previous resistance. Makes sense, doesn't it? And so a lot of people are going to buy right now, right here on what's called the bullish retest in this area. And again, sometimes it's not just a line. It can be a rectangled, bubbled area. You see what I'm saying? Let me make this big. I don't know why I'm so small for the people on the phone right now. Please forgive the lifer here. As I get so into teaching, I'm just so enthralled in it. So what we're looking for is an inverted head and shoulder. Then patterns get into play. So look what I'm doing, though. I'm taking a nuance of patterns, moving averages, and supportive resistance. Okay? And the stochastics RSI as it's below the dotted line here. The red and the blue line. This is my stochastics RSI. Whenever it gets below the dotted line, it's extremely oversold. This tells me that there's a possible move here for Bitcoin coming. There's a chance here. So you're telling me there's a chance. Here would be the trade. This is my model that I trade many times. However, I don't like the model on Monday. It stinks on Monday. It has a way less probability win rate on Mondays than it does on the Tuesdays and the Wednesdays and the early Thursdays. Unless we've had massive liquidations on like Wednesday night or Thursday morning, Friday's not my favorite day. If we've had massive liquidations, Friday may be the day because you're going to get the reversal within 2 to 3 days usually of a massive liquidation. So if you get liquidated Wednesday night, good chance that Friday gives you a bit of a pump. Okay? Let's take a look at 111,554 for Bitcoin. So this channel is here for you as to teach you technical analysis, to go over the altcoins that I find hot, to show you what I do inside the trading group, right? To convince you that a trading group will save your life because I joined one and it saved mine. Everyone thinks it's like, he's like, oh, this guy's creating, yes, it benefits the guy who runs the group. It's a school. But hey, schools get to teach you, schools, basically, this is what a school does. They build a building, they build the structure, right? I built the school. Then they have to have information that actually matters, right? And then they got a guy who's been, let's just say, he has a doctorate in literature and he teaches a course on literature. And you learn from this dude because he knows a lot about literature. The guy knows his stuff. When you're done with that course, it's as if you were studying literature for 20 years, but you only took the course for a year or half a semester or one semester, you know what I mean? The point is you get so much downloaded information from experts That's why you pay for school. That's the whole point. Okay? Just in case you weren't sure, you know? So I've been in the market for years. I've risked so much money to learn what I've learned. And now I'm here to teach you to try, you know, basically to attempt, not to try, to actually show you how you could keep yourself from the pitfalls of losing money. You see? Ooh, I don't like that trade. The stop loss should be below the 200. Hold on. I'm sitting there yapping away. You go to 100, hit last. And I got a little 26 bucks on the fee and the loss. But my stop loss is not where it's got to be lower, but I don't want to risk that much, see? I needed to adjust the trade. A chance I may be able to get by on this one, but it's not a good look. Let's see here now. If I adjusted the stop loss. Yeah, I'm not trying to do 190 for 530. That's just not my steez. Especially on a Monday. Looks like, I'll let it slide. So far, it's somewhat all right, but it's not my thing. My stop really needs to be below the 200. I lowered it below the 200, but then I opened the risk, you see. Now we're above the 200 moving average. The 21's touching. We're making a bit of a flag. We did this earlier right here. We broke out. We faked it down. Are they going to break it out and fake it down again? They very well may. There's not much action today, and this is something, I don't know, and I've taught a lot of people. I'm hoping there aren't whales out there taking my strategy, putting too much positions on the board. If I get too famous, right, then people are going to, will have too much liquidity on my exact, so. I like the fame, but I want to be in that little pocket, that little niche, micro niche strategy. Get it? Anyway, so can we continue to get that move there to 113.8? So I just made a live trade in front of you, risking 190 for 530. Very unlikely I'm going to win the trade. Why would I do it? Because I like the risk. Period. And because I've already made I made boatloads of money last week, and so I could risk a little bit. Not to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just showing you that I did trade my butt off last week, and I made it out alive. So it wasn't easy, and it wasn't perfect, but I made it out alive. And beautiful trade on ETH. So yeah. So this breaks out, I'd say 80% of the time. I will make money on this trade when I trade it at the right time. I know it sounds weird, but when I use the best liquidity zones, this could break out. But they call me the king of 3% because a lot of my trades make 3% when you're watching them pretty fast, and then they start to grow. I can make 3% on my sleeve, right? So there's an 8% trade. We'll see what happens. And again, it just got started. I don't want to brag about a tiny little win here. Let's see. And again, this will take an hour at the most, right? It shouldn't take too long. 2 hours, by 11 o'clock. By 12 o'clock, we should definitely know whether we hit this trade or not. That means you could trade this maybe 4 or 5 times a day, and you could make $500 4 times a day. It ain't bad. Or just risking. So we'll see what happens. Likelihood I get tossed around here because it's Monday, and Monday usually, I don't even know why I'm trading Monday right now, but the setup looks interesting. They already kind of demolished it once. Makes me think they got enough of their fill, and they've been dumping the price for a while. BOOKMAP says we go lower, so only time will tell. Shout out to everybody here, and let me know what you're doing. Is anybody long? Are you short? What's happening in the trades? Let me know. Put a 1, say I'm long. Put a 2, say I'm short. Put a 3, say I'm nothing on the sidelines. Put a 1, 2, or 3 here in the chat. Let me know if you're long. Put a 1, write 1 long. Write 2 short. Write 3 sidelines. Let me know. Actually, we'll just put a poll up, right? Why not? Engage with the audience. Are you long, short, or sideways? Short or sideline? Are you long, short, or sidelines? And you know what that means. You're on the sidelines. I should just write on the sidelines. You never know. On the sidelines. Sidelines. I don't know how. Long, short. Are you long, short, or sideline? Long means you're betting that the price will go up, or you're taking a probability. I don't like to use that word. And short is you're taking a probability the price will go down. Let me know in the chat here, and also let me know there. And let me know both places. That will really spark the engagement if you hit it both. If you write the comment and you hit the poll. All right. Chill until PCE, baby. Oh, yeah. I mean, technically I am too. This trade is small. You know what I mean? Unless I'm risking, $5,000 for 15,000, I'm technically chilling. But hey, I'm always kind of getting a trade, I'm always getting my heart in the zone, getting my feet wet, so to speak, getting my heart going, dipping my toes in the water. This is trading on BitTinex. Everything has been great on BitTinex. They did have that little hiccup, but you know what? I love their UI, so I'm too addicted to it. And luckily, I had just sold before the hiccup. God bless me, so I guess I got lucky. I wouldn't risk that much at a Sunday night overnight ever again. I've almost lost my stomach a few times. Yeah, exactly. Dude, boss, man, dude, Sunday nights are the most volatile nights of your life. Trading Sunday night is like eating a burrito and a Slurpee before going on a roller coaster and thinking that you're not gonna. Sorry, I had to, you know what I mean? But the odds are you're gonna have a mess in your pants. It is what it is, man. And you're going over the loop. You know what I mean? No way. Might even end up in your hair. Shout out to everybody. Oh, my God. Gross. But seriously, I wanted to give you that image because I want you to really remember what Sunday night trading could be like. And watch out. This looks like a double top. We're getting sketched out here. I'm not in love here. Looking sketchy. You're better off leading Monday trading alone, technically. Unless you like the risk, like me. Sammy, can you do the dance with the pants? No. Never. Long and constantly paying the trader. Farcoin for hours. Yeah, exactly. And if you want to jump on into any of the exchanges, we do have a pinned comment to Weeks, to BitTinex, to BTCC. Jump on in today. I'd greatly appreciate that. Yeah, look at that. That trade not going well. Kind of slumping around here. Bulls have to dig in and put in this right shoulder now on the 1 minute time frame. Looking more like an M pattern that just didn't make it. But I don't know. I'm just taking probabilities. We still are above the 200, baby. Let's go. So let's finish our top-down analysis. I kind of jumped the gun there. So the weekly. To me, this got to be a green candle that breaks back inside. It has to be a fake out. Break back in. When we saw this green candle close with a wick, we knew it was bearish. I told you that was going to be no good. When it was forming, I said it wasn't a good look, and we got the dump to the downside exactly as we were supposed to. Like that, you know what I mean? The 5-day bearish div, and then we broke support at 114,000. Would only make sense that you would come test that 110.5 area, which was where these two candles came. You tested it on a wick. People scooped up the liquidity. And now we're kind of where we are, see? 3-day chart, to me, bearishly retested the bullish trend line. And now you're outside. You've got to, this got to turn into something different. And it closes tonight. And that's going to close a bearish engulfing candle. Not a good look in the 3-day chart. If you don't get some type of crazy price action today that bounces price, I mean, and let's be really honest with ourselves, this could be a kind of a little right shoulder. That could be a right shoulder. This is a head. There can be a kind of like a complex head and shoulder there. That doesn't look good to me. And Bitcoin takes a nice fall down to the 200 moving average back to 101,800. So I got to be honest, it's looking bearish to me. Because of this bearish retest of the point of control and this trend line. That's no go, Bo. You can't be doing stuff like that on the daily. That's not a good look. This is also an Adam and Eve double top that seems like it's just kind of having a little bit of a hiccup here before it tries to go down. So I am more bearish than bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's got to show me something as the trade starts to kind of meander around here. And I'm not in love with what I'm seeing. What I'm going to do is, let me take a look at my 3-minute. What I did is I just took a $30 loss. And I don't know, the 3-minute don't look too bad. I actually like the 3-minute. 3-minute looks interesting. And I know, I'm back and forth here a little bit. It's Monday. Let me work out my own trading too. I'm live trading in front of you. Sometimes I'm not perfect. Let me work through it. But don't say nothing to the end. It's kind of like a guy we ever see a guy who's working with like, brick and mortar and it looks like a mess. In the end, it's going to be beautiful. Just let me do my thing. Let me do my magic, all right? I've been live streaming for a long time. There's a reason why people keep coming back. You may not understand what I'm doing at first. You may have no clue. Just take it in, breathe it in, let it happen, and learn. We're going to do this together many, many days. This is not the first time. This won't be the last time. We're going to build a data set together. We're going to learn together. We're going to have fun together. You're going to propel me to keep pushing every day. I'm going to propel you to keep pushing every day. Together, we're going to create synchronicity. And that's how this channel keeps pumping up to basically 2,000 people a day, baby, on this live. God bless everybody here on the live, and thank you for being here and kicking it with the lifers. Funny, I keep missing that one. I don't know why. 86 for 300 is more my style. 112 for 436. That's more my style there. 132 for 472. I like that. That's more my style. I was a little over risk there. 5 minute needs to get back above the 200. It's getting rejected by it. We need the 21 to pull up. The less risky trade would be wait for this same setup on the 5 minute chart. I like what I'm seeing. I've seen this play out many times. I'm going to risk 150 for 450 as we speak. And I'm not touching the trade. I'm either going to lose it or win it. I will not touch this trade again. All right? That's it. I'm either going to lose the money or get the money. It is what it is. And now we're locked in here on BitTheNext. Might even make a trade on weeks on that 5 minute time frame if things go well. All right? Shout out to anyone that traded Ethereum this weekend. We did get a nice little win there. Let's take a look at Ethereum on weeks and see what's happening. Really good tools too. They got all the TradingView widgets that I use, and then I got it all set up, and it's sitting here pretty for us. So for weeks, what I'm looking for is I'm going to be taking the 5 minute swing if we get it. Also, we're going to be talking about a CME gap that may be above us this time. Everyone loves to talk about the CME gap below us, but is there a CME gap above us? We did dip on the weekend, right? So there should be a CME gap above us. We're going to take a look at that momentarily and break down for you too as well. And this week we're going to get back to some hot news every single time here on the channel. So get ready for that, as we got some cool stuff coming your way news-wise. So yeah, I'm looking for this to make a flag. I'm looking for this to break above the 200 with the 21 propelling, and I'm looking for a short squeeze up to 4861 for Bitcoin, for Ethereum. I say Bitcoin so much, right? For Ethereum. Right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, it's funny. There's something going on more than ever with Bitcoin, right? And someone was selling Bitcoin recently too as well, right? Whoa. No. You hit news and then they play a video. It's kind of like, whoa, what are you doing? Right? I want to talk about something that I made a play on. When we had a big dip, I put a substantial amount of money back into the market in 3 places. All right? 4 places really, Bitcoin for sure, but 3 main places. Everyone in my trading group knows. We go over it every week, and I kind of talk about those bags that I was building. Well, towards the end of the stream, I'm going to tell you the 3 places I put a lot of money down when the market was shifting lower, and kind of where I see that happening and why I did what I did, what the infrastructure play was there, and what I see for the future, because I'm building where I believe we're going to be in the next few years, and that's kind of what I base a lot of my strategy on. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I do saying you should be taking as financial advice. I just saw Bitcoin when it was 350 and knew it was going to 100,000, but that means, don't worry about it. That means nothing. I saw BNB at a buck before it turned to $1,800, but yeah, it means nothing. I saw Cardano with 2 cents before it went to $3, but don't worry. I found Cake at 60 cents before it went to $44, but you know what? That means nothing. I found, Phantom at 19 cents before it went to $3.31, but let's not talk about all that. You know what I mean? That's just, I found Atom at a buck before it went to like almost $10. Insanity. And the list goes on and on and on. We found Gala when it was like less than $1 or less than a penny or something. Man. We found Caspa at less than a penny. It went to 20 cents. It did a 20x. But whatever. That means nothing. Okay? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just lucky. I'm just a lucky guy. Even though I know luck does not exist. So here on the 5-minute time frame, we got ourselves in a bit of a bull flag, don't we? I mean, you're touching the 21-day moving average, a bit of what I call an ascending cup and handle. You got your cup here on the left side, and that's why they call me Sammy Cup and Handy, right? You got your bit of a cup there. You got your handle. There's your cup and handle. We may be getting the reversal here for Bitcoin. This may finally blow up the way it was supposed to here on the trade. Let's see. Twice now they've played with me. Kind of made the dagger head and shoulder. What is the dagger head and shoulder? You got the dagger. You got the round head. You got the dagger, right? But that is a head and shoulder nonetheless. The measured move, you'll take the wick to the heavy point there. Like right there to there. And boom. I mean, this suggests you are going up. If you took the trade, we're back in the money now. Kind of cleared the losses. Let's see what we could do. And I'm relentless on my models. I just go at them over and over again like a bot. It does not stop. On top of that, I have a bot that also trades for me here. You can find out more at MINOTAUR Trading Systems. Hit the link to the bot and get down if you'd like. Schedule a free call. It'll blow your mind. You'll find out more. And they'll kind of explain a lot more to you of how the bot works, how much it costs, because it isn't cheap. All right. I found the life for it and fell in love with charting. God bless you, just like I did. Hey, if you're here on the channel, then you fell in love with charting. It's just something that you love. It's your passion, right? Blessings on blessings. So, yeah. So check out MINOTAUR. This bot is trading for me. It just bought the bottom right there. Look, it just entered along right now. So you also just got a long signal live by being here on the channel. So look, it had a first order at 8,000. It has a backup safety order at 12,000. And then has a mean order at 18. It has another $24,000 order waiting again. It usually does not have to use that order. Many times the safety order is 12,000. See, 8,000, 12,000, it got itself out. 8,000, 18,000, it got itself out there. It entered along right there at the 18,000. It went all in there and sold. It did the whole batch there. It felt comfortable about it, and then it sold there. Then it went in for 18. Then it went in for 8. Then it went in for 12. And now it's back in again for 18. You see? This is going to be a monster trade because it's building a big position. The lower we go, the more money I make because the bigger the position gets. I like Bitcoin to go down and then rip back up. It makes me the most money. Every time we get a volatile dump and we rip back up, this bot maximizes my gains. It's called MINOTAUR Trading Systems bot, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It buys the bottom fearlessly, constantly. It just bought the bottom right now. It was like, okay, you're going to bring fear. And look, it bought right where I believe. And look, we just bought together, me and the bot, and it uses some other system. It doesn't use my system, but if you're locked in and there is a mathematical point where the probability is the highest to get in, then you should be both getting in near the same time. And if you're getting in where a bot is getting in that's been programmed by like AI and computers and science, you're doing pretty dang good, right? And so I've compared my strategy to the bot and the bot to my strategy, and we bounce back and forth a lot. It's pretty cool. So it's only helped me trade, and it's also helped me understand how the bot works and made me more comfortable with algorithmic bot trading and just getting it done. So I'm really excited to be partnered with MINOTAUR, and I'm very happy I do get a commission. They're not a sponsor of the channel, but I get a great commission, and I greatly appreciate if you jump on in, all right? So, and again, I couldn't stand bots. I thought they would never work. I never thought I would have a bot. I was afraid of it. I didn't understand it. And you know what I mean? I was one of those people that did, a manual trader, kind of stuck to my guns. I stuck with these people. I met them over a year ago. We started small with 10 grand. They never wanted to push it on my community until I was comfortable and they were comfortable. And we went really slow. And now the bots made me basically double. It made me 100% because it's double. Bitcoin has went up. I put in like 60 grand and now I have like 160. So it's actually almost tripled my money. You get it? But it's only because Bitcoin also went up and I reinvested every time Bitcoin went up back into the bot. And the bot has compound the gains over and over again. So that's another reason why the bot has made money. All right. I do front run the bot sometimes. I front run my own bot. Isn't that crazy? I buy before it a lot. And I'm like, gotcha bot. And it's like, whoa, what are you doing there, Sammy? You wait for me. And I'm like, no. You wait for me. I'm the bot. You can't beat me. So here's the deal. Bitcoin looks bad on the daily with a bearish retest. Are they just setting up a bear trap to rip us back to the upside and send us to Honolulu? There's a chance, everybody. There is a chance. There is a chance. And if anyone's going to catch it, I believe my crew and me, we're going to catch it. Because we don't take days off. We figured out how to stay disciplined no matter what. Did you work out this morning? I did till I was sweating. The workout was super hardcore. Very hardcore workout. I do this workout here by Jordan Yeow Fitness. Dude, this thing, killer body workout, level 6, volume 2. Oh my God. This workout, if you're not dead by the end of that workout, if it's not one of the hardest things you've ever done, you're lying to me. Or you didn't do it well enough. That workout will kick your body. You want to feel like you've got a military instructor in your house every day? You want to feel like you're ready to take on the world when you're done with a workout? Do that workout. I do that workout every Monday, and it feels like I could destroy 1,000 men when I'm done. I'm just like, you can't. I'm like, Andrew Tate got nothing on me, baby. Let's go. Ah! You know, straight up. That's how I feel. Look at this nice little bullish divvy here for Bitcoin. And you're bouncing off the 12-hour 200 moving average. This could save the day with a reversal back to the upside. We got to get back inside. You got to get back up above this point of control. Really, 118,500 has to be recaptured here for Bitcoin. We're back above 118.5. We can breathe easy and life will be good. Possible bigger inverted head and shoulder on the board too as well here with a shoulder, a head, and a possible right shoulder. It's all open. You got to stay open. It's all possible. So we made one live trade in front of you. We're still there. So far, the 21 did cross the 200 in a way that I like aggressively. I'm trading the 3-minute time frame. Okay, we're trading Bitcoin on Bit2Nex. I am using 65x leverage with about $500, making it a $35,000 trade. Pretty small compared to my usual trades because the risk is low on a Monday. My positions are going to be smaller on Monday than they are on a usual time period, like a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday morning. Those are my favorite 3 times to trade: Tuesday night, Monday night, tonight too. Tonight at 8 p.m., I'm very active in the trading group. Monday night is one of my favorite nights to open up trades. And I teach you guys all this, so we talk about liquidity, and you learn so much here on the channel. So show up every day, keep pushing, make it happen, and believe in yourself. Because you can, your life will change forever if you start pushing yourself to another level of high frequency. 100%. So right now, there's a bit of a chance here. Let's see what the bearish signs are, though. So there's some bullishness here, a little bit. Bullish div, there's a little chance we could bounce. It's not amazing. I have to tell you, even though I'm sounding a little bit, optimistic here, I am more bearish than bullish because I'm a probability guy. And right now, you're below the 8-hour 200 moving average. You got to get back above that for me to flip. I might trade a reversal. I might get in, get out. That doesn't mean that the overall thesis is that we're definitely going to get the reversal. I do like this bullish div here on the 4-hour. It looks like it could be, somewhat decent. And the 1 hour is very over. The 1 hour is beautiful bull div with a move back to the upside. 1 hour is saying, hey, can I kick it? Yes, you can, 1 hour you could say is in this broadening falling wedge. It can still break back to the upside over time. But you kind of like inverted head and shoulder there. Seems to be some resistance at 112,200. What I'm also seeing is a bit of a slanted Adam and Eve. Okay, that's a slanted Adam and Eve, which I have started, in the last 3 years, I started playing with this pattern. And it does play out more than it doesn't. It says we get back to 115,000. The slanted Adam and Eve pattern showing some signs of push, but man. So let me remove the moving averages for a split second and just kind of show you what levels matter today. Your 15-minute time frame is holding some weight. This double top right there was our, no-go zone. 113,007 must be revisited. Most people, like a smart trader with low risk, I wouldn't even long unless you get above that. What I'm doing is heavy risk right now, extremely risky. Unless you understand how to trade in heavy risk, please do not do that. Okay, you must demo trade, understand the 1 minute, understand the leverage, understand everything. I'm trading isolated. I know exactly what I'm doing, my stop loss, the risk. Everything I'm doing here has been well thought out, and I've done it hundreds and hundreds of times. This is well practiced. This is not my first rodeo. Okay? My stop loss is well above my liquidation price. I can clearly define my liquidation near the wick. All of this is thought out meticulously, okay? No detail is missed. And I can manage the trade as fast and as quick as I would like. Every time we get the 200 to move up, we move the stop loss a little back to that 200. Trade back to 8%. Let's see if we can turn this one into a winner and get ourselves a short squeeze back to 113.5. Not asking for a lot, just looking for the squeeze. BOOKMAP says no way. BOOKMAP says you're going to get a little big up to suck people in, and then they're going to send you back down so hard to 108,000. BOOKMAP is not 100%. I think 10% of the time it may be wrong. So it's sad when it's wrong because it's right so much that when it's wrong, you're kind of devastated, but that's fine because it's right more than it's wrong, right? So it's telling us we're going to get a short down. The other day, there was one of these, though, and we did rip up, even though there wasn't much liquidity. You can zoom in here, and you can see, though, we do have a big red there at 113.6, right where I'm looking to go. So we've got enough short liquidity up there. So there is enough liquidations above us. I mean, look at all that. 113, 100, I mean, that's deep red, too. So we can definitely get there. We've got enough. So what I do is I look for a moving average that we get above that I speculated on and have tested for years. Boom, bing. I use a pattern that has a higher probability of breaking out than breaking down. Bing. I wait for the 21 to touch price action because I know that has a higher probability to get in. Bing. And then I match it with BOOKMAP, and I make sure there's a liquidity zone with big red matching very close or around my target area. Bing. You do those 4 things, you're going to be locked in. I just gave you the keys to the city. You can drive a Lamborghini, man, with what I taught you if you stay disciplined. Seriously, like, it's all there. And you can do this on any chart on the wall, from Forex. You can do this on Ethereum. You could do this, and again, you don't even, and BOOKMAP is just as a helper. It shows you what's happening. See, a future stock and trading platform that displays market liquidity. Check what the candlesticks are hiding. You see candlesticks. I see market liquidity. I'm not just trading candlesticks like the average person. I'm seeing where the stop losses. These are people's stop losses that don't think, like, oh, I don't use a stop loss because I don't want to be on the board. These are your liquidations. I see you on the board anyway. So that's the one good thing about trading spot. When you're trading spot and you don't have a stop loss, you're not on the board. Right? When you're trading leverage and you have a stop loss, you, my friends, are on the board. We just got a nice little pump to the upside here, changing this movement of the trade. And you can see this is what's supposed to happen today. Last Monday, we ripped it. I just realized last Monday was an amazing trading day. I nailed all the trades on Monday, right? We were bang, bang, bang. It was actually live action. And that reminds me, we got to get to the CME and see what's happening. And we got to finish the top-down analysis. Please, I keep missing there. So possible slanted Adam and Eve double bottom. I don't know how many people probably can't even see that or even consider it. I'm probably out of my mind to even look at it like that. I showed you kind of this inverted head and shoulder that did play out. But still, we got to get back above 13.8 to get any gains here and to really believe in it. Bitcoin seems to be in a sideways channel, much weaker, and ETH is sideways, up higher, and much stronger. Yeah, we want to see more money flowing out of Bitcoin, all right? Exactly. Cracking the 5-minute 200 MA, squeeze them, baby. If we can crack the 5-minute 200 moving average, we can get a nice move. When the 21's a little far away, it's suggesting you're going to either get a quick rip and then a dump back down to get the retest to the 21, or you're going to go more lateral. You could get a rejection here and take a nasty dump. This is a key moment here. I've seen massive dumps come from here, and then what they would do is they'd make our head and shoulder, and they'd end this little fun rally we got going on. And then the day will kind of slump, and we'll be back into like, Bitcoin, right? I'd like to see the bullishness. I am a more of a Bitcoin bull. I'm an opportunist, though. I will short the market. I will take advantage of what I see. I won't sit there and do nothing. If there's money to be made, I'll take it. We'll go from there. God bless everybody here on the stream. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate you for being here. Your engagement makes this stream move. Your time that you dedicate to the stream is so invaluable. Thank you so much for the love, and thank you so much for being here. May God bless everybody on the stream. So we're going to watch this closely. Rejection by the 200 moving average of the 5 is something I've seen many times in a bearish, on a bearish day, right? And we still got this, though. Let's see if we can make out here. Didn't sound right. Let's see if we can make out like a bandit on this move. That should move actually a little higher now. It could go to 113,750. So I'm still in the trade. We're going to see where this goes. And then we're going to kind of look at altcoins. It's 11 o'clock. And so this is what we do on the channel. I go over Bitcoin. If I see a live trade, I take one. Otherwise, I say I'm not live trading, and we go over it together. I make the best assessment I can. We go over the parameters, like what could be bullish, what could be bearish. We look for like a possible bullish move, and we take it. If it gets failed, then we realize that the bearish move is likely coming, and then we reassess. And that's kind of the channel. That's how I do it on this channel, right? And by 11, you yourself have all the information you can get on Bitcoin, in my humble opinion, that can give you your best, you can make your best kind of idea with the education I've given you, and then we go from there. And then I start to kind of venture into the altcoins, because once we know what Bitcoin's doing, we can make a better assessment on where the altcoins could go, and then we can look for altcoins that could possibly give us some gains. And so I'm already speculating on what's strong and what's weak, and there's a few strong coins out there already today that you want to talk about. Hyperliquid really showing the most strength. And big news for Hyperliquid. So I'm going to talk about the news, how it correlates to kind of what's happening, and break it down. But if you look at Hyperliquid today, it surpasses Robinhood in spot derivatives trading, right? Its trading volume surpasses Robinhood in May and June, driven by high-speed technology and incentives. No adverse effects on major cryptocurrencies reported. In May and June, Hyperliquid outperformed Robinhood, achieving superior trading volumes in spot and perpetual, according to reports. And this is the first time, right, we're seeing this, centralized, decentralized exchanges stepping it up. It saw a significant rise in trading volume, surpassing Robinhood's benchmarks. And that makes you want to trade it, right? When there's more liquidity, why not? Hyperliquid gained significant market prominence following $1.2 billion hype airdrop in December, right? That also really changed the game there. And Hyperliquid boomed. If you got the airdrop, you're still holding massive gains. It came out at I think $2 or $3. It's holding to 20x from when it came out. And it's this is a real project that's been really holding its gains, regardless of what Bitcoin's been doing. Very, very important to watch. We're going to look at that Hyperliquid chart later on and show you what I see and why I like it. And it's actually another setup, too, in the trading group that I've been going over for a long time. That's one of the coins I did put a substantial amount in when we had that bearish dip, Hyperliquid. All right. Let's take a look at what is the most popular coins in the game here, based just on CryptoRank. Top 20 search coins. Ethereum, Athena, SWI, Aptos. It says Layer 0. I don't know why Layer 0 is so searched so much. To me, there's a conspiracy there, but who knows? I could be wrong. Hyperliquid, Barachain at $2. That thing might actually come back strong. OKB had a huge week. Definitely time for it to kind of pull back a little bit, but you can look at it to see if it's a safer pullback. 207 for Solana just the other day, pulled back to 198, but stronger than most coins as it's got a use case. I like the Somia network. I got some inside. I basically researched it a long time ago. Not inside information, but I've researched this a long time ago, and inside my mind, I like Somia network, and I believe it could do some numbers over time. Definitely something we want to pay attention to. I would write it down, and it could make a move you're just not even thinking about. I like this Akito, AKE. It's gaming. It's got a very small market cap. It may take some time to mature, but there's a chance that in a few months, if the market really rips, this could be a great swing trade. Overtake, new coin, write it down. And this is one I want you, and again, Lakochi, can you go over Overtake for me? Go over Akito Games. All right. The Plume Network keeps coming in there. It's getting visited a lot. It's creating, a good TVL. Bio Protocol, we got that one on the channel, ripped. Towns Protocol Almanac. Look up Almanac for me if you haven't already, but just repaste it and redraw it again. Aerodrone, Akito, and Overtake. And give me a report on that. And Sapien. Please, if you can, just little thing to remind myself in the DM, and then we can kind of go from there. So those are coins we're going to look at. Lombard, too. Bard, B-A-R-D. And why am I doing this? Because 2-3 weeks from now, one of these coins could be a 10Xer, 5Xer, just like we saw Zora Network or Zebek, Zebek Protocol. So this stuff can move. Or Zebek Network, is it? Yeah. So Lombard is a decentralized finance protocol that enhances Bitcoin's utility by integrating it into DeFi ecosystems. Its primary offering, LBDC, is a liquid stake token representing Bitcoin, maintaining a one-to-one backing with Bitcoin. LBDC allows holders to earn staking yields via Babylon Protocol, while retaining liquidity for participation in various DeFi activities, such as lending, borrowing, and yield farming. Lombard's DeFi Vault accepts LBDC, WBTC, and CBDC deposits, automating yield management by allocating assets across multiple DeFi strategies to maximize returns. The protocol employs a security consortium and a hardware-backed key management to ensure the safety of user assets. Hardware-backed key management? Interesting. You know, I like the idea of Bitcoin DeFi. However, I'm very, very cautious of my Bitcoin. I really don't want to put my Bitcoin to work in these DeFi protocols because I'm more, I have that fear that something could happen to the Bitcoin, and then forever I'll ask myself, why was I so greedy? I could have just stacked the Bitcoin. So I would be careful about some of this stuff. You know, yield farming your Bitcoin, you never know. Maybe I would use a small portion just to see how it goes. But man, in the future, I would love such a secure network that you could just yield on Bitcoin, no stress. That would be so amazing. So amazing. We jump back in and you can see that the long is struggling yet again, just like it should on a Monday. Mondays are tough for trading. Trust me, you see why I'm not risking a lot on my trades and why they're basically going up and down. It's a Monday. We call it False Move Monday for a reason. Liquidity doesn't fall through. It's always a show, if you know what I'm saying. Let's take a look at BTC.USD. It's a great day not to trade or not to overtrade or to trade less. So we're going to look at the CME futures here on the 4-hour time frame. On the daily even. Okay. Yeah, so I was about to say, there's got to be a gap because we don't. So there's the CME gap, and it's pretty dang big. It's huge. Pretty likely that we will close that gap, right? And I don't know, how deep we have to go. And again, not all gaps have to close. But that's a huge gap of the CME. So there you have it. I mean, right there. And everyone says, oh, we'll go down on the gap. So why can't we go up in the gap? But just to let you know, there is a gap there on the CME. We definitely said we're going to talk about it. So there you have it. How are your altcoins doing? And is it time to load up? Like everybody's saying, altcoin season is here. Kind of crazy, right? I've never seen so many weirdos bull posting alt season when they may not know what they're talking about. Alt season's still looking good to me. Let's break down why, and let's go over the charts and not just be bull porn posting saying this is what it is, right? So, bull posting, I should say. Sorry, I don't want to use that word. Not a good word. Resistance, bounce, not for the brand, right? So, this could be an ascending triangle. They have broken down. They're 50-50 patterns. Even though they're a little bullish, they are 50-50. Like, this could dump down. Then we could channel, and this could take all the way till October 12th. This could be a month of sideways price action before we find our way on out. For me, that would make the most sense. Everyone's freaking out of the rate cut. It comes in. It's a nothing burger because they already said it was happening. People front run it a week before, but then liquidity comes into the market. When liquidity comes in, it takes 2 weeks for people to get their loans, get themselves situated, open up their accounts, and then they start flooding the market. That money really starts to flood the market October into November, and then we get that beautiful pump because of the rate cut. And that makes sense to me. So this all looks like it's going well, but there may be a nasty dip. Altcoins can handle it. They've actually done pretty well against Bitcoin. Bitcoin takes that dip to 108. Altcoins can handle it. Won't be the worst thing in the world. Altcoins lose this trend line, that's when I would start to say, oh no. You get 2 or 3 daily candle closes down here. I mean, no. Then you're testing the 200 moving average. You close candles below, and then do we have to wait for a double bottom? How long is this really going to happen? I don't know. Altcoin season is canceled. So, I'll be on it for you every single day, and we'll make it happen. So this is kind of what we're looking at here for Bitcoin. Now, another great thing that could happen is in 2 to 3 days, alt seasons we could get this breakout, and it could be boom. I'm poised and ready. I've DCA'd. I have my positions. I don't have to be right or wrong here. And if I miss a leverage trade, so be it. I'll get it on the retest, or I'll find a moving average above the 1 hour. Like, I know exactly how we can get into the market no matter what's going on, how to set up our plans, and when we should and shouldn't chase. So There is a chance that this is a beautiful entry right now and we do break out huge. But there's also a chance we come down. Both of these, I'm still overall bullish of the scenario as long as we hold the trend line on Total 3. Total 3 is the market cap of all the altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Very important that you kind of look at this, taking a gander. When you look at this, you also want to look at Bitcoin dominance. You want to see that Bitcoin dominance is back to its free fall and not, attempting to pump. If Bitcoin dominance is pumping, there's some treachery in the market. You can see right there, there's an inverted head and shoulder on Bitcoin dominance. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Now, that could mean a Bitcoin pump, but it would also mean to watch your altcoins. Sorry, my chubby thumb, man. It slides in between the keys there. So, shoulder, head, right shoulder. And then can you break out to the 200 moving average there at about 59? Nothing of this makes sense to me. Sorry, just nothing concrete. God bless you, man. It won't make sense to you unless you do this for a long time. I wouldn't expect it to make sense. You've probably been trading for a few years. How would this make sense to you? How would a man that's been doing this for 20 years, understanding the markets all over, make sense to you? Think about that. It's like you're going to go and take apart a rocket engine and it's going to make sense to you overnight. No. God bless you. It shouldn't make sense to you. You should be uncomfortable right now with what I'm teaching you. If your brain is kind of you don't understand, you're kind of in a mix. That means you're on your way to learning. If you're comfortable at everything, you make this, you've been doing this with me for years, then you get it. But if you're new and this is kind of throwing you off, you don't get it. That's a beautiful thing. That means your brain is in a state of progression. You do not want to be in a comfortable place. Stop looking for comfort. Stop looking for the perfect win. Stop looking for the greatest day ever. Look for the hardest day of your life. Look for it to be struggle. Look for the hardest struggles ever, man. If God didn't give me those hard struggles, the night shift, the pain, the anguish, the ups, the downs, the one-bedroom apartment, the lack of money, the angst of being broke as a joke for years, if God didn't put me through that, there's no way I would be hard enough to do what I do every single day now. Be so blessed with everything you're getting. You see what I'm saying? And just be blessed. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. If I just came to the stream, I'd be so confused too. 100%. We're above the 200 moving average. We're touching the 21. Take a deep breath. You're going to make it. Everything's going to be all right. The bot just bought the bottom. All right? Anything could happen. Right now, we're digging into a shoulder, bit of a head, a right shoulder for the market cap. We want to see this break out. This would be really good for the altcoins, and and Bitcoin has to bump for that to happen. Nice little pump back at 112,200. That's been an area we've been having an issue with here. Now you don't want to make the right shoulder, and we're doing live price action right here with you. Live price action. So that's a messy pattern. You almost want to feel like it got back inside of like a bullish rectangle. Looks like a short squeeze is coming here for BTC. And we'll show you kind of how the short squeeze looks like on BOOKMAP. Let me load it up here again and get it going. This puts us in position for a possible gain. Right now, we're up 10% in the trade. We got our stop loss below the 200 moving average. That's protection. I use 200 moving averages to give me it gives me better risk of the trade. Ever since I started using them, my probabilities went up on my stop losses getting hit. They just stopped getting hit. If I never used a stop loss, I would never have got better at placing my stop loss. People say, I don't use stop losses, so then they're not good at using them. So they don't know when the best places to use them or where to put them are. I use stop losses so much, and they got stopped out. And then they didn't, and then they did. And then I worked it, and I worked it, and I worked it. And then I found the best, like what I found for me. Maybe you find something better, but for me, I found what I thought was the best places to get in based on where I should put my stop loss and based on how I have the risk set up. You turn those pains into positive 100%. I asked God, I prayed to God for strength. He gave me more problems to make me stronger. Let that sink in. I said, God, I want to be so strong. God, help me. God, And then my life kept going bad. And I said, God, you don't love me. I kept asking. See, God was giving me exactly what I needed to become great. And I was asking to become great. But I thought God didn't love me because it wasn't happening on my time or when it was supposed to happen for me. So I had a very angry relationship with God. And I said, you don't love me. I'm your bastard. I'm the bastard child that you just put aside, I say I pray all the time. I ask for help. I don't seem to get it. I was getting it the whole time. I prayed to God for strength. He gave me more problems to make me stronger. God was building me into the person I needed to become, but I didn't know that. And how could I have known that? I wasn't mature enough to understand that. My relationship with God had not been defined. So how the heck? Of course I wouldn't know that. And that's how God works. That's how parenting works. Your kids don't always know exactly why you're doing something, but when they're older, they figure it out. And then they love you even more for it. That's why when my dad died, I understood him even better now than when he was alive, right? Because now I understand all the things he was doing for me now that he couldn't do them for me anymore. Once I lost his guidance, I saw his strategy, right? His strategy was revealed. I really can't support any football anymore. Football seems to be another one of those fake things. Now they got to wear things on their helmet. It's just, I don't know, man. They're going woke with the NFL now. I don't know. I'm all set. Shout out there. I mean, I watch football to fall asleep to it, and I've always loved football. I played football. But the way it's getting packaged, man, it's starting to get real weird, right? Bro, you a blessing to YouTube. God bless you, man. Thank you. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Hit that like button. Get more people to the stream. Let's go. This is the most motivating, awesome stream in the game. Let's go. What are we doing? Let's go. 500 likes. 600, 1,600 people. Come on now. This ain't your average YouTube channel. I'm not your average person. I'm going all the way. 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers. This thing will blow up. It already has. Let's keep pushing. Live trading in front of you every single day. Ideas, tips, and tricks. Laying it all down on the line. Talking about what it was like to fight through the masses when they didn't believe in you. Connecting to how you felt, because I know you felt like me. I'm getting it off my chest because I couldn't believe no one believed me when I told them C19 was coming. They all thought I was nuts. Nobody thought my instinct was correct. They all doubted me, man. 99% of the people in my life thought I was full of it. There was a couple people that were with me, man. A couple people that saw what I saw. Shout out to them who held me down, man. My buddy Nick. Shout out to Sully. He got it. 333 to my peoples, man. Let's get that like button banged on. Let's go. If I was in your house, I would take off my shoes. I'd hit that like button, baby. It's just a sign of respect. I'm a father of 3 kids, a small business. Me and my wife running this channel with our four people that help us work it. You know what I mean? This ain't some big conglomerate, man. You're with the little guy right now. Hit the like button. I'm you. You are me. Together we fight. If I could do it, you could do it. Let's go. I represent you. I came from the bottom, man. I'm a middle-class kid that worked a night shift. My dad was an iron worker. My mom was a school teacher. I come from Union, Irish, bricklaying grandfather. Come on now. If you can't hit the like button for me, you can't hit the like button for yourself, man. I worked a night shift for 6 years, baby. Let's go. Let's go. All right, moving forward. Let's take a look at AVAX. I want to see how AVAX is doing as Bitcoin is starting a possible short squeeze here to the upside, defying BOOKMAP's liquidity as we get to 112,340. We get back above 112,500, and we could possibly get this trade to 13.6. And we did show you the liquidity up there too as well. We do have some liquidity up to 100, even up to 118,000, 117.5. So let's see what happens one stop at a time. I'm trying to join the team and be your merch guy, Sam. I really need a merch guy, brother. Email cryptolifers@gmail.com. I prayed to God last night. I said, I just want someone that can help me with the merch and get it going. I said, I'm losing so much money not selling merch. I said, we get a fun sayings, things from the stream. We can do exclusive drops. And we talk about it all the time for 2-3 years now. Nada. We got the balance. We got the revenue. Let's get the merch going, man. I'm working with people like your dad as we speak. I'm in a high-rise tower crane operator. Yeah. You work with the iron workers all day long. My dad, boom up, right? Boom up. You ever see him bang the ball against the beam? Try to get it into place. You help him grab the ball. He grabs the ball from the crane. Do they do that stuff anyway? He used to do a lot of cowboy stuff, right? And this guy says, cringe, spare us the life lessons, and he is gone. We don't want people like you on the stream. God bless you, but peace out, brother. Yeah, you're cringe. We don't want you here, man. You're not a crypto lifer. You're not of the cloth. So goodbye. Please bounce. Thank you. God bless you, brother. But peace out for life, man. Thank you. Yeah, I just removed negative pieces of the cloth. We don't need that, everybody. We got the lifer sauce here. If someone's willing to be negative and pull us down, we just got to get away from them and cut them off. And so I'm sorry, because I could probably help those people more than the positive people. They need the most help. But we got to move on. All right. I will talk about my life. I will give life lessons. I will propel and talk about whatever I want. This is my channel, 100,000 subs. I've been doing what I do for a long time. I'll continue to do so. Peace out for life, baby. Kick rocks, kid. Thanks, but no thanks, man. We'll see you on the next one, baby. Okay, moving forward. And again, what I just did, I do that for you guys because cutting negative people out of my life was the first step to becoming successful. I used to hang out with so many people that dragged me down, so many people that didn't love me, and I kept coming back for more. Why? Why? Like, why does that guy get to be on the channel if he's going to put me down? He doesn't. He doesn't deserve to be here. Bounce, Bo. Anyway, I'm not even mad. I just want to talk about your life. Like, don't let people in your life that put you down. Don't let people in your life that hurt you. Don't let people in your life that are negative. Remove them immediately. That is the greatest thing you can do to build yourself up and get yourself going. Remove negative people out of your life. They are so draining, my friend. Because you got to deal with them. And you got to figure out ways around them. And then you have to spend time talking about them with your spouse and your friends. It's a waste of your time when you could be building, strategizing, and moving forward to something bigger, you know? Shoulder, head, right shoulder to the upside possible there for tether dominance. I'd much rather it to be in kind of a tight channel that breaks down here. Kind of crucial. We do have a bearish div. Let's get this break to the downside for tether dominance. We get a spike here and this starts to bounce. That tells you that we're going to get some type of bullish, you know, some downside. So be careful. Negative festers in a disease, crypto. You got to block them out 100%. It's exhausting. Oh my God, it is. 100%. Nice little pump there for Bitcoin. 22% on the gain. $130 bill, yo. And there we get the nice pump, short squeeze. And here's a short squeeze. Another time I've used BOOKMAP. And we're showing you the short squeeze here on the channel. And that's a short squeeze right there to the upside as they're liquidating the shorts that just jumped in. They don't understand that you don't short above a 200 moving average. I've taught this for like thousands of days. Like I've on this live stream, the 1736 episode, I have maybe caught a short squeeze similar to this. And maybe we lose the trade. I don't know. It's not up huge. It's a very delicate position here on the Monday. So I don't want to brag too much about a little bit of green, but we have played this type of position many times in the channel where we get the short squeeze, 21 touching, 200. This is like a known system. All right. Makes me happier than anything. Shout out to Wagon Shorts, man. Yeah. You're going to show us AVAX, Sammy. Thank you for bringing that up, man. I liked AVAX. It looked nice on the daily. Did it prevail? Did it hold? What's happening? So look at AVAX. We talked about getting in there somewhere at about 24. Boomed nicely up to 26, and we were in the green. You're still in the green right now. You're above the entry, and we can reposition this a little bit. And it just looks like you may go sideways for, I don't know. If I hold shift and go sideways, make sure you're on the cross. It tells us till about 18 days. You could get about 12 to 18 days of sideways price action here. And it would make sense as we come to anticipate the rate hike. And look at that. The time to break out would be right on the 17th. Isn't that kind of crazy? So a lot of anticipation for the rate cut seems to be coming. And seems to be coming, you know, very fast. Can Bitcoin hold these gains sustainably? We'll see. Stop loss based right at the 200 moving average. Not a lot to write home about. Not a lot of, you know. So AVAX still looks good to me. Stop loss below that lower low there at 2074. Take profit takes you to about 37, 36.50 for AVAX. Looks like it may take some time to consolidate. That's all. Everyone wants money right away. I just want money with a high probability. I don't care if it takes 3 weeks to a month to 2 months. Everyone says if it doesn't happen in 3 weeks, what happens is people get into trades 5 days later, they get out because it didn't pay them. Then they get in another one. And after that, it's been weeks of in and out. And then I just sit in one for 2 months and get paid. You got to have patience in this market. Patience pays, man, every single time. I've been so paid off my patience. I was in an E-trade underwater, 5 grand, 6 grand. I think 9 grand at one point, going to sleep, sweating, cortisol at the top of the, you know what I mean, turning white. Eventually sold the trade for gains, man, made it through with the patience. You know, looked at the key levels, saw my support of resistance, said, hey, as long as we stay above that level, it really doesn't matter when I'm down or up. I can see the charts. I say, if we get below that level, then I got to start worrying about liquidation. But if we can stay above a key level, then we're good to go. And you kind of learn how to do that in trading. Wow, right back to 355. No saw, you know, that just... Now I would kind of break this like this and say, okay. And you get really good at projecting over time when you just keep projecting. I do it every day, constantly, over and over and over again. And eventually it becomes a science and a habit. I call the way I trade quantum theory, quantum projection theory. All right? Because quantum theory is the idea that when you look at something, it changes. Right? You know if you know the double slit theory based on the particle in a double slit. I'll do it very fast. All right? I don't have a lot of time. Scientists had a particle accelerator, and how many people understand this? I just want to see how many, but they had a particle accelerator where they spit a particle out. All right? Then they had what was like this resonation area where they could see the patterns of the waves or the patterns of the particles. Then what they did is they put another board here. Now, if you looked at it from this way, the board was like this with multiple slits in it. Okay? They shot the particle out of here, and it was a wave. All right? And the wave got bigger, and when the wave hit the wall, the wave was a curve like this, and it went into the slits. And it went through all the slits evenly because it was a wave. And what it did is, and then when they looked at the pattern here on this wall, they got lines. And so they could see that when they weren't looking at it, it was a wave. So they decided to observe it, and they shot a particle. When they observed it, the wave condensed itself into a particle. And the particle had to pick a slot to go through. And sometimes it picked this one, sometimes it picked that one. And then when they looked at the resonation board, they could see heavy resonation here, nothing there, heavy resonation here. It wasn't even like this. So what they learned was when they looked at it, it changed itself into a particle from a wave. And it could be vice versa. It doesn't really matter for this theory, but so quantum theory is like when you look at it, it changes. So by projecting the pattern into existence, does it make it happen or not happen? What it does is it creates the trade that's there before the trade even happens. And then as we fill the pattern out, if reality fills this pattern out, we take the projection. And then the theory becomes reality. So it's quantum projection theory. And I've coined it. It's mine. And I don't even sell it or anything. It's just what I do. But this is what happens. So you constantly are projecting into the future and only taking the trades that play out into that projection. It's such a beautiful mind. And it makes so much sense when you think it through. If you can clear all the clutter out and see what I'm doing, it makes perfect sense. So this is also my strategy based on all the other things that I'm doing. It's a scientific process that I'm using my brain to assess the market with, right? And this will be developed if you just do this every day. You'll develop some unique way of your brain interpreting the market. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing here with this weird stuff with the 21, and it's why people don't understand. But he's up, but he's up again. Like the guy showing green trades almost all the time when he's live, and he doesn't win. A couple weeks ago, I lost like 3 days straight, 4 days straight. People lose faith in me for whatever reason. I'll win for 100 days straight. I'll do 5 choppy days, and people will lose faith. Also, you have to remember, there's always some new person watching the stream that decides that's my trading style. They have no clue what's going on. So you got to watch me for a while to take it in if you want to learn the sauce. This is a science. This is a lifestyle. This is an everyday process. This isn't just jump in, jump out. If you jump in, jump out, you will be lost and confused. 100%. It's not going to make sense to you. Let's jump on into the fan funding and see what's happening with the chat. God bless everybody here on the chat. And let's look at the live chat. I know it always does that top chat nonsense. And thank you so much. 1,254 votes. We have 65% people are long. We have 11% short. And we have 25% on the sidelines. So most people are along with me. We'll see what happens. Talk that talk, baby. Hey, yo. They got me yesterday. Shout out to Reliable J. We had a big CME gap above us. We went over that already. The outcome of the experimental change is based on whether or not the particle paths are observed. This suggests that quantum systems exist in a superposition of states until they are measured. 100%. My man's on point with that. It means you create your own reality. You are part of the reality creation, 100%. 100%. And that's another thing I'm teaching my students. The subconscious mind is controlling your life. Once someone has hijacked your subconscious mind, you will think you're living a life that you're in control of, but you're not. You're doing what your subconscious mind has been pushing you to do. It's legit. Mix it with the RAS. This guy's on point. The reticular activation system. And NLP. Exactly. Neuroplasticity. You can alter your reality literally by programming your brain. You're 100%. We are all living a program. When I was 7 years old, I was programmed by my father, the neighborhood I was around, and the people around me. That was my thought process. My interaction with money was programmed. My interaction with people and money. How I felt about situations, my fears, all these things were programmed. Watching my dad, when he talked about a fear, when I'm going to start a business, but when he didn't want to do something. Those things resonated. Now, some people say that you're built by 7 years old and you can't change that. You can rebuild yourself through neuroplasticity. You can reprogram the brain. You can. But you got to give it a new program. If you don't give it a new program, you'll still run the old one. There will be a time, too, when you're breaking down the old program and building a new one. Well, you're going to feel really strange. That's okay. Keep building. Working out helps that because it induces chemicals that help you push forward the programming. This is why I work out every day. It's how you reprogram the brain. I'm teaching you how to chemically reprogram yourself out of the matrix, man, and I'm trying to get you out. It's not just the charts. You got to change the brain. You got to actually change the chemical makeup of the brain. You can do it, though. No more alcohol. No more drugs. No more negative people. No more dark places and bars that don't let the light in. An hour of sunlight a day. Get into nature. Start touching grass. Get to the ocean if you're near it. Please get your feet in the sand. Please get yourself polarized. Get yourself, decluttered from the Wi-Fi by grounding yourself with bare feet in the sand. Get out to nature. Get the shoes off. This is so important. This is going to make your trading way better. I could spend my whole time showing you every single trade today, and I could nail it, and we could hit it, and I do it all the time. But 1 out of 30, 50, 60 days, I got to also talk about the brain. I got to talk about how we can change the way you think. I got to talk about how we can reprogram you out of the matrix because they got us locked in, man. So many of us. And this is the first way to get out is the brain. All right? And anyway, let's get back into the charts. It is sometimes off topic. I get it because you want me to flood you with all coins and go through the super chats. But this is it, man. The secret to success is getting started. Shout out to John Legend in the house. God bless you, brother. And the algo doesn't know what to do, right? It's like, what is this, But it keeps moving. Our sun is the solar maximum. Take advantage of the energy. It's given us 100%. Stay connected to the source, my man. The secret to success. I love y'all. Anyway, let's take a look at what's happening here for the altcoins. Let's jump on into your super chats that are going to spear us. Andrew Yurkovic, who keeps giving. This guy's going to get so much back in his life. He doesn't stop giving. He gets it. He's in the lifer force right now. I'm here for the lifer chart skills of the personal stories. We're all on our own journeys and learning from each other is a blessing. Cheers, Sammy. God bless you, man. Hey, Sam, could you take a look at Soul? Thank you. Let's take a look at Solana by Kevin. And thank you so much for that super chat from both of you. That will come back tenfold to the lifers. Every time you give, it comes back. It's not really about the person that receives. It's about your ability to give. Again, changing your frequency. When you give, you change your frequency. You tell the universe that you know more is coming to you for a fact, without a doubt. You could tell yourself all day, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to get rich. See, there's two people. One guy says, I'm going to get rich. I know I'm going to get rich. But every time he gets $1, he hoards it because he needs to get rich. So he saves it. What happens is the universe doesn't open huge opportunities to give to him because he doesn't open huge opportunities to give to others. There's another guy who never tells anyone about getting rich, but he works really hard. And every time his business goes up by 10 or 20%, he takes a 1 or 2% of that big profit and he goes out for that next few weeks and he gives it as fat tips to everyone around. If a mechanic fixes his car and it's fair, he gives the guy an extra tip. If the people that clean his house do a really good job and he's in a good mood, he throws them, If someone at a local place that he goes to is doing an extra good job, he takes them aside and says, hey, man, thank you so much. Here's a nice tip. And you know what? The universe will respond in kind to that person because it's going to say, man, that person is spreading it out. And that person knows more is coming because he keeps giving it away. Once you start giving, your life will change forever. But it's really hard. People are afraid to give. The devil will whisper in your ear and tell you, don't give that away. That's for you. I recently won $8,600 trading. Not trading. Gambling. Yeah, I was doing Texas Hold'em, right? And so we're having some fun with friends. Whatever it was, what it was, and and you're sitting there doing your thing. And I said, man, I got to tip big, man, because it's going to help, right? Like, you got to tip big. And I had determined I was going to start tipping big halfway through. Once I started hitting, I started tipping big. At one point, even we got $100 back for something, and we all said, no, let's tip it. Anyway, Solana is getting tighter in here. Anyway, I ended up winning the whole pot and getting even more. And then I ended up tipping even more because why not? You know what I'm saying? Such a nice feeling to know that I was going to tip for sure. You know what I mean? So, tight channel above the 200 moving average, above the 3-day. That's beautiful to me. The stochastics does have to reset. This could dump. You could see a double bottom at 98. That's the thing, man. But you know what? The fact that we're in an uptrend, we've battled through. Total market cap looks nice. Total 3 looks good. This trade is still intact. I would possibly maybe wait for a better entry at 182. But there's a chance someone could get in here and still stay below this wick. Like, that's a 3-4. But there, that's too deep. But stop loss at about 114. And up to 445. That's a big boy trade. This could take weeks to months. All right. But that's Solana. Thanks for all you do. Can we check DIA on the daily? Shout out to Joker NYC. God bless you, Joker. Shout out to Victor Navarro. And shout out to everybody that gave when I hit 100,000 subs the first time. You guys gave like big, beautiful super chats. Thank you so much. We are back at 100,000 subscribers, 100,100 and more today. Thank you so much for that, everyone. It's unbelievable to be there. I feel like a new man. I don't know, something about it's like a new suit. I feel like my channel's got a new suit, you know what I mean? A fresh new 3-piece. When I see the 100K there, it's just like that stamp of approval, right? DIA, the last time I looked at DIA, I said it could bounce off this key area, but look for it in the green box. Usually the 3-day chart will come back to the 21-day moving average and to the 618.65 golden pocket. This is where you want to be looking. For me personally, any single asset that pumps hard, you want to start looking at the 618 golden pocket and the 21-day moving average on the 3-day chart. When they do touch, there is a confluence there. That can be a key area to think about for reversal. Now, we also may bounce up and down a little bit more. Not really in love with this. The pattern's not amazing. How it's got kind of that dual bottom that doesn't touch and then the flag. DIA. I've never been a huge fan of this project personally. I've swung traded a couple times. That's about it. Adam and Eve double bottom that did play out there. And you can see it's the cup with the handle that boomed. That's why we call it Sammy Cup and Handle. Samuel Cup and Handle. Sammy Cup and Handy. Now, same thing we just showed you was that Fibonacci on the 3-day. You also got the 786. Looks like you may get lower. You may come down to the 786. It could have about a couple more weeks of dumpage before the next big pump. I don't know for sure. I'm not a psychic. But the probability tells you that this is definitely the discount area. You're not chasing premium on a green wick, and anything could happen. Bitcoin struggling to hold 112.5 and looking more sideways now. And today is really a sideways tough day. Tough day to trade in and out of the smaller time frames, and you'd have to use larger positions with high leverage to really gain even. Look, I'm using 65x to make $50. You know what I mean? So that's how you know it's a tough day. Okay, I'm squeezing a lot out of tiny time frames just to make $50. The more leverage you have to use, the more capital I have to do on smaller time frames, the harder it is to make. It's like having smaller, kiwi limes are really tight, and you have to you can barely get the juice out of them. Instead of getting a bunch of fat limes with a lot of liquidity, it's like a low volume day is like kiwi limes, man. And I said I would lock in this trade no matter what. I'd either lose it or win it. But some days I can clearly see the probability is not in my favor. I'm like, to lock in is pointless, but I'm like, hey. So we had this nice flag. Then we got the pump. We'll see. It is still above the 200. The 5-minute is toying with that 200 moving average. The key is we're back above the 200 on the 5, which is awesome. Now we need the 21 to cross the 200, and we can get what's called fireworks here. Fireworks, kid. So, dude, Man, dude, bro, yo. Man, dude, bro, yo, yo. So look, this can get all the way up here to 114,185. Sam, I can't believe it. No, to do the Maki Robert. I was a cop. I played a fireman. It doesn't matter, babe. I did it. I was the shooter. I've done it all. I was with Joyner Lucas all the time. We hang out in the lower. You know, Sam, it doesn't matter. Sammy's got this. He's going to play the long off the 200 moving average. I'm telling you, he can do this. I was Dirk Diggler, and I approve this message. My name's Maki Warburg. I'm here for the life of spicy sauce. Thanks, Sam, for all you do, especially the mental side of trading. That is my weakness. Thanks to you and Master Friend guidance. Mental, oh my God, are you kidding me? Anybody after 3 to 4 years can understand technical analysis, I think. If you can understand, 6th to 7th grade math, you can start doing well on your TA. Can you implement the TA at the right time? Can you get the emotions off your back? Can you start to grow as a trader and really progress? And there's a time where I knew if I didn't take it seriously, I was going to keep doing the same things over and over again. And I asked myself, do you want to take it to the next level? I saw how hard trading was going to be. It was going to have to take up all my time. I was going to have to I had a job and I kept saying, man, I'm not going to be able to become a good trader with this job. I said, I can swing trade. I can make money in the market. Don't get me wrong. But if I want to become an amazing trader, like a day trader, like someone that could day trade like a boss, because until you can day trade like a boss, to me, swing. I shouldn't say that because some people are great swing traders. But to me, I wanted to do it all. I wanted to be able to swing trade the 4 hour. I wanted to be able to hold on the weekly for 5 to 10 years. I wanted to be able to nail the 1 minute. I wanted to be able to trade the 1 second. I desired every single piece that trading had to offer. I wanted every single thing it had. I desired everything it had. I get rid of that want word. Want's a lack word. Change want for desire. Change need for concern or looking for. I don't need anything. I'm looking for it. See? I need a new girlfriend. No, I'm looking for a new girlfriend. See that? See how different that is? Need tells the universe you don't have it and that you likely will continue not to have it because you haven't had it in the first place. So when you tell the universe you need something, you're basically telling it you're not going to get it. And then you're too obsessed with it so much that the law of attraction will not work for you. You're going to distract it from you. You're going to be subtracting it from your life. Stop using the word need in all shapes and sizes if you can, and use looking for. I need some bread today. I'm looking for bread. Can you go to the store? I need some ingredients. You don't need ingredients. God has given you everything you need. God has already given you everything. God's given you everything. I'm telling you right now, as crazy as that sounds, right? Okay. So the bot's kicking butt. Let's see if it bought the complete bottom. There's a chance 112 holds us. I'm still a little more bullish than bearish. Bitcoin's got to show us something today. And there it is. Look at the dip out of nowhere. And it losing that 200 moving average on the 5. It can't lose the 200 on the 3 minute. That's got to be our saving grace here for the day. Not amazing. Let's get back into the super chats here and see what's going down. Mind taking a look at SRUUF, not crypto. Thank you. Let's look at SRUUF. You said it's not crypto. I don't see SRUUF. Sorry. SRUUF. Let me do it right. Sprott Protocol Physical Uranium Trust. All right, let's take a look. First of all, you want to look at it on a bigger time frame, 3-day weekly. So the first thing I see is it had a beautiful run up. Came back down to support and bounced beautifully. And now it's kind of bouncing off this next support region where it had some resistance. So that's pretty strong. It's also above the weekly 200 moving average. And it got above it not too long ago, which the last time Bitcoin did that, it went on a massive tear. We got the 5-day, we got the 3-day. And the 3 days oversold in the stochastics and bouncing. Then you want to take a look at your trend line. You got 2 trend lines going, right? You got this falling wedge that just broke out. Feel like you're retesting the falling wedge area there. Then you kind of got this symmetrical triangle, which to me is breaking out as we speak. Now we zoom in and we start looking at the daily, okay? The daily had tight moving averages, a signal that I teach to go long. The stochastics had a green R, which is a bullish div there, which told you that was likely your bottom around 16. Then you can see the daily did a double bottom You can see how double bottoms play out there without liquidity raids. They never raided that double bottom liquidity, right? That has a measured move somewhere back to that previous high at about 18. Okay, so we're getting some good information from this analysis, right? It's starting to kind of feed us a lot of good data. Let's go into that 12-hour, the 22. They still look good. Let's take a look at our 8 and our 4. You know, I like this kind of double, quadruple bottom above the 200 moving average. This thing looks bullish to me. I mean, anything is possible. It could take a right turn and dump, but so far, so good. If I was going to continue this trade or look for continuation, I'm looking for this to flag out of the 1 minute. Just like we're trading Bitcoin in the 5, it's the exact same scenario, but on a bigger idea. And you're going to be looking for the 21-day moving average to come in. You're going to look for this to hold this previous resistance. You don't want to go back below this trend line or you'll be in trouble. This does look bullish. I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere at 18 by September 4th. Ask for patience and pass the test. Thank God. Long on ZBCN 5X. Curious what stop loss areas BOOKMAP is targeted. Thanks for all you do. God bless. BOOKMAP can't go over every single place. So I don't think it does the BCN. ZBCN. It does Bitcoin, you know. Bitcoin's struggling back at this level, but it ain't the worst. It's just kind of doing its thing on a Monday. Better than huge dumps. We'll see, right? I'll take slow sideways price action on Monday. Better than the nastiness, right? I got a setup for this in the trading group, and we're just looking for it to break out. Again, like a lot of coins, I'm looking for sideways price action for about 2 more weeks, and then boom, we can boom to the upside. Looks like altcoins may go sideways, which is strong. As altcoins don't lose their lows and actually go sideways, it'll be the first time in a long time because they've been going up, going down, going up, going down, going up, going down, going up. Sideways for 2 weeks? That will build confidence. That will build confirmation. That means people are jumping on in and building it up. TLRY, an oldie but goodie. That thing used to bang on them on the NASDAQ. TLRY breaking out. It's above the daily 200 moving average on the 20 with the 21 touching. And it just kind of caked off right there out of the flag to the upside. Looks like it may come up or down until the 21 comes, but that looks bullish to me. 8 hour just got the 21 crossing the 200. That consolidation is key. TLRY bouncing off the bottom at 28 cents all the way. Wow, TLRY 40. It was a low of 37 back in June. That thing ripped to 138. On a bit of a tear, let's take a look at the 1 hour. 1 hour just broke out. And you can see the strategies right there. You can see the Adam and Eve double bottom that I teach. We went over it today on Bitcoin. You can see how it breaks the neckline. It goes from the neckline to the head and breaks out. I can't make this stuff up, my friends. Right? The neckline's maybe a little higher, but bang, that thing does what it was supposed to do. Exactly what it was supposed to do. Absolutely beautiful. Now we're tight inside the flag with tight moving averages. Would give you a measured move. Say it goes higher. For that to go higher, now you watch your 15 and you wait your 15 minute to make a flag. The measured move of all of this, when we're said and done on that first pump, somewhere at about 191. Bitcoin struggling again, 191, 225. It seems like it loves this 112, 200 area. It's got so many buy orders, so many sell orders, it just loving 112. That is your update for TLRY. Looks like it's going to continue. I see 191 somewhere by September 2nd. And I could be wrong, you know. I don't know. I'm not 100%. I'm pretty good, but I'm not 100. We'll see. Mind taking a quick, yeah, we took a look at that. Yep, thank you. And I'm here for the lifer chart and skills. Thank you. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Trust me, it's better off being around positive people than having more people watch you that aren't, and having less, have people that are negative. We build the channel one step, one day at a time. Can you check SNEK, sir, from Olaf? Let's take a look at SNEK. It had a nice run up. Cardano was hot. Let's take a look at what's happening to SNEK. We actually put out that last call for SNEK back there out this flag, right? So last time I looked at SNEK, I said this flag could break out. It did that. Wow, SNEK. Cup and handle, shoulder, head, right shoulder. Let me kind of show you this stuff just kind of in real motion here. But there's the cup. There's the handle. This is why they call me Sammy Cup and Handy. Sometimes you have what's called a double handle. Seen that many times. you have somewhat of a, shoulder, head, and right shoulder. You kind of have a shoulder, head, right shoulder there that could break out. Almost a bit of a double bottom too. We'll delete the old work. We'll look at it again if we see something different. And again, I see that same pattern that I see on Total 3, that I see on Solana. So it's more pronounced and more lateral in some coins, and it's more flat and more elongated on others. But at the end of the day, this is the pattern. And if it breaks down, then we come back to the 200. We make right shoulders. It could be the end of alt season, or at least like the end of the idea that we're about to have this alt season that everybody is yelling about. I'm positioned if we have it. I own $1 million in alts, and I'll see where we go. It is what it is. Like, I didn't put $1 million in a home. I didn't buy, I could have bought 3 Lamborghinis. Instead, I bought altcoins. You see what I'm saying? I'd much rather win on investing than drive a fancy car. It's not into me. I don't know why. Once you play with money like I do, and you learn to make money with money, I don't know. I feel like it's weird to buy stuff that you just know you just rather make money with. Like, I only buy a Lamborghini. I'd have to pick the right one. I'd keep it, garage most of the time. And I'd plan on reselling it in about 3 to 4 years for some type of profit to buy something else. And I just keep flipping, supercars. Like, that's kind of I would do it to make gains. And again, I wouldn't do it for fiat currency. I would do it for fiat to get another car. You see what I'm saying? Just to keep growing that idea. And then eventually, maybe you make enough profit doing that, and then you can have 4 or 5 supercars. And you can start growing the fleet, and then you can start selling 4 at a time and buying 5 back, and then you get 6, then you get 7, then you get 8. I'm all about just progressing. That's the thing. If I get 1 supercar, I'm going to probably eventually end up with 10 because I'm the type of guy that's going to keep going with it until it's, And it's really just wealth preservation. The fiat's going down, the supercar's going up. So there's no reason to buy, you're not even really spending money. You're just parking it in a different asset that's going to save its bot. You're really putting your money in a safe. As long as you don't smash that thing up. That's the only thing. SNEK looks interesting to me. I like it above the 200 on the daily. It's a known signal for me. But again, Bitcoin has to play today. It's all about Bitcoin today, everybody. No matter what coin you're talking about, it's all about BTC. We get the bounce. We get the bounce here. We get tighter. And it's just like everything else. Look, September 12th. It tells us we got 2 weeks, maybe even 20 days of sideways price action until the big Kazuna. Ba-boom. So uneventful day here on the trades. We couldn't win or lose in front of you. We've been sideways the whole time. Only the trading group will find out what happens to this trade at CryptoLifer.com. Go to CryptoLifer.com to find out more if you would like to find out what happens to this trade and be with me through the rest of the day. You're going to get my updates, tips, tricks, the jokes, subconscious mind theory, whatever comes my way, even some crazy news before anybody hears about it. We'll be scanning the market for you and going over the sauce. So this is it. This is it. This is the opportunity that's possibly at hand today. And it also looks somewhat sketchy. Remember, I'm still overall more bearish than bullish. The bigger time frames have to go over my update this morning. And remember what I said. Just because I'm longing some small time frame does not mean I believe there's a reversal. I would get out at 113, 113.6, 114.2. Like, I'm just trying to trade. This is just this is a instantaneous trade for the day. Intraday trading. There are times when I come out, I'm like, that is a reversal. I'm calling the bottom. We're all in it. I've done that. I'm not doing that right now. It looks, to me, it does not look like the bottom. It looks sketchy. I'm testing the waters in small time frames to see if they play out. If they do, then I know the bottom might start to begin. It starts with the 1, 3, and the 5, and then it starts to progress through the other time frames. That's why we use small time frames and move forward to bigger time frames. And through that progression, we learn how price action moves. Very important. And remember, with all I talked about with life, learning lessons and ups and downs and managing trades and mental clarity and sticking in Bitcoin and crypto when the rest of the world thought it was insane, I still feel like we taught you more about technical analysis than almost any channel did today, and about life and about yourself. So I learned so much about everybody here, just about like the connection of humans today. Like it just made me realize why we all come together to do the same thing every day. And what a blessing it is to be alive. Remember, the 5-minute got rejected by the 200 moving average. Or it didn't hold it. And now there's a chance of a head and shoulder pattern beginning to form here. See it? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. possibly to the downside. So I'm not loving what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. Possible reversal, but Remember, the bulls have to show up and show us something. Some days it's both ways. It's like, okay, let's see what happens. And then I see a bull flag. It's Tuesday. We're above the 200 liquidity, and we're good. And there's other days where, like, the bears are not in control. The bears, the bulls are in control. And then other days where the bears are still in control, everybody. 112.5 is heavy psychological resistance. And we also have this 13.6 area that we got shut down by, so. And that's kind of where we stand for BTC. So not an amazing day to trade, but it's Monday. I usually don't trade until Monday night anyway, so I didn't think we were going to get much price action. But I still love the 21 and the 200. They get me excited. I made a lot of money there, so they get my subconscious mind going. That's why I'm in the trade, and that's why I've got my stop loss below the 3-minute 200 moving average. Live on a Bit2Next scalp here. And you can trade where I trade on any of the exchanges that we have on the stream. If you want to jump on into weeks, Bit2Next or BTCC, please be my guest and do so. Everybody, I love you. I thank you so much for jumping on in and being amazing. Sorry, not sorry, pants, but no pants, man. I got these beautiful gray pants on today to kind of match the blue. You know what I mean? Like, I thought the blue, I got the gray shirt on, so I thought gray pants. I mean, it would make sense, right? I know you don't care about my pants. Nobody should. But these beautiful gray pants, man, that match. Barefoot. Always barefoot with the suit on. You know how we roll. I'm not wearing shoes in my house. That's disgusting. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Thank you for being here. Remember, it's sometimes, always, never. If it's two, it's always, never. Okay? This is always, wait, sometimes, always, never. Wait, no, it's got to be this way. Right? Sometimes, always, never. Yeah. No. Yeah, the top button is always buttoned in 2-button suits. Right? Never the bottom button. Never. You never do this. If someone sees you do this, you are messing up. And the second you sit down, you unbutton this top button. Understand? The second you sit down, the second you stand up, you button this. You never walk around without this button. You never sit down with it buttoned. I don't care if you get it up in 2 or 3 times. All right? This is a denim suit. All right? God bless everybody here. The Jerry Garcia tie. All right? My dad gave to me years ago. Cool pocket square with paisley. You know what I mean? Kind of matches the white, yellow, beiges there. They kind of, that color is almost the exact color there. The exact, right there. That color matches exactly. It's crazy. It's got the little blue in it. So last night I put this together. I said, man, that would be pretty cool. Before I went to bed, I said, what should I wear on the stream? I said, man, let me whip something up that I've never worn before on the show. Anyway, I love you all. God bless you. Yeah, always, sometimes, never. Yeah. Always, sometimes, never. Thank you. Yeah. Always, sometimes, never. Thank you. It's not sometimes, always, never. No, in a 3-piece. Yeah, always, sometimes. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, always, sometimes, never. Yeah. Always make sure the gig line is straight. Paisley with the denim is the vibe. Shout out to Purple Flash. Invent magnetic buttons and make millions. Hey. God bless everybody here. Thank you for being here. It's called proper etiquette, and you are correct. Yep. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for an amazing live stream. I feel blessed. This market will lead us to glory if we stay true to our systems and our discipline. I love you. Thank you.